Hi, Bo here from High Tech Investment, and in today's video we're going to talk about Money Tree. This is the second video in the Money Tree saga about 3 weeks ago. So we started testing of it itself, and if you missed that video, we definitely suggest you start off with that one. It looks like this, and in here we are testing basically a plug and play, a black box EA called the Money Tree, and we have put it up on 2 different brokers. We're going to explain a bit more all about it and also where you can find all the details. This particular video here this week is because we have now been testing this for about 3 weeks, which is not really very long when you talk about robot testing to see if things are working. But we saw some interesting things in the past week, so that revealed a few new things about the EA that certainly we didn't know. And we have also heard there's a couple of traders that got into trouble. So during this week on those particular trades, we're going to have a closer look at them to see exactly what happened. And of course, we're all going to take a quick look at exactly what are the profits between the 2 different brokers that we have set up for this EA. So let's jump over to the FX Blue site where you can see all the trades that are going through our MT4 platform. Now, if we start off on the place broker here, we can see the balance as up to 10,533. Equity is a bit lower, so because we have a floating profit loss here at minus 90 at the moment. There's only 1 trade open as it is right now. Close profits, as we said, 533, and then you have the free margin here. On top of this, you can see that obviously we are running this on a demo at the moment with a 10,000 starting capital. Total return that we have had so far in the 3 weeks is 4.4. Monthly return is calculated by FX Blue to be about 8.1. Weekly return also calculated here at 1.9. And then we can see the trade wins at the moment extremely high, 93.8. And then profit factor also really good, 2.93. And so far we have managed 234.1 pips and trades per day 1.6, history 21 days. And we can see all the different Forex pairs that has been traded so far. You can see the percentage also that you have in here and the nice little graph so far that has gone up. Now, if we take a look at the IG market here, it looks very similar. Again, the balance is 511. Also here, equity is a bit lower, 409, 10,409, which means that the floating profit is just in minus 1 on 1. And close profit 511, free margin 10,202. Margin in use also 207. Also here we have a demo account for this particular EA, and then total returns so far 4.1%. Monthly return has been calculated to 7.2. Weekly returns 1.7, and trade wins here is a bit lower. Again, also there are small differences in between the 2 brokers here, and there's also a currency missing. We're not going to go into detail in this particular video on this. We're going to do a lot more analysis later on when we have more trades. Profit factor here is 2.84, which is also extremely good, and we have made a few less pip, 204.4 only here on the IG broker one. Trades per day on the Blazer it was 1.6, here it's 1.5. Also history here is 21 days, and you can see all the different currency pairs that has been traded on this particular one too. Now you can find a lot more detail on our website itself, where we also have the 2 links, and you simply go into our portfolio, you click the Money Tree, and then you scroll down on the site here until you get to this particular part, and these are FX Blue links, will take you directly there, and you can then go and analyze a lot more details than what we have given you here today, because this is very specific to what we have basically seen this week on the trading that we wanted to share with you. But feel free to go there, so all of it is available, and you normally also have the live trading during the week, where you can go in and see it with a very small delay of only a few seconds or sometimes a minute or 2 as max. Now, one of the things that the developers also provide you within the manual, which is not really a big manual here, is the lot sizing, which is obviously extremely important for traders. And if we have a closer look at it, we can see here that you can start off with 500 or less, and then they give you the low risk, the medium risk, and the high risk, and what lot size you should actually use depending on how adventurous you are. If you have 1,000 to 2,000 here, you can again divide it into the low risk, medium and high risk. And then we are in the last category down here, and that's how we have set it up. In the $3,000 to $5,000, remember this is a $10,000 account. And what we have done here is we have the low risk, 0.05 to 0.1 lot size. We are using 0.2 and basically doubling up from the 5,000 up to 10. And that's what we believe is a reasonable lot size to start off with. Also to make sure that we don't blow the account or accidentally lose a couple of trades just because we're a bit too greedy. We rather want to see exactly how the EA works. And we are not really getting much information out of that if we blow the account all the time. Yeah, so profit will come later and we will try and adjust it as we see fit, depending on how the trades are going. But based on what we have seen this week, definitely this was the right way to go. You can see the medium risk is 0.4 lots, and that means that if we would have doubled it up on hours, it would have been 0.8, or even here high risk, where you can go all the way up to 1 lot size, and then again you double it up to 10,000, that would be 2. So extremely heavy and definitely not something we can recommend. Try and start off with the low risk settings here, and then work your way depending on how confident you are with this particular EA. Now we have blown up the FX Blue site for what exactly we want to show you here today. And basically it's divided into 2 sections. The 2 different brokers has made pretty much the same trades as you can see. So Blaze is on top, and then we have IG at the bottom. The first one we're going to have a look at is the Euro USD. We can see we're starting off with 0.2 lots here. And you can also see the time this was set. So this was done on the 7th of February at 1800 hours. And then that one didn't close. But we can see a second one that came in, and it came in actually only 48 minutes later. So, and this time around, the lot size actually grew. So it went from 0.2 up to 3.4, even though we didn't set anything higher than the 0.2 here. And we will show you the settings later in the video, so you'll understand. And after that, it's basically you ended up with a closing of profits on the other side here, and you can see both of them closed at the same time. So same day, and basically within half an hour after the second one was set, one was credited as a win of $100, and the other one was credited as a loss at 80 at the end of the day, and that meant a slight profit in between the two itself. Now this clearly indicates that there is some kind of martingale strategy involved in this particular EA, and definitely that we did not know. Obviously you don't get much information from just the winning trades, because yes, it's fine, it takes around 10 pips, as you can see on some of the white ones here. But the rest of the ones, when things go wrong, that is where you really start to learn about the EA and what exactly it does. Now the same thing we also had on the British Pounds USD, and that one we're going to see on the graph itself. Again, we start off with 0.2 lots. You can see it started off on the 3rd of February at 10:47 here. And after that, it didn't really close. It only closed on the 9th, so about 6 days later. But in the meantime, we opened up another one again, and you can see same lot size as Euro USD. So we ended up with 0.34. And again, that was on the same day, but about 8 hours later, so 4 o'clock in the afternoon, it put the second trade in. And then it was open for about 6 days, and you can see they closed at the same time within 1 second here. Again, it was credited with one win of $211, and the other one with a loss of $185. But overall, we made a small little profit between those two. But this is clearly a martingale strategy that it goes into if the trade goes against it, instead of setting a stop loss. And the same thing is evident also here on the second set of IG demo. It does the same thing, and you can see the amounts is very, very close to each other. So there's not really much of a difference. And also, if you look at the timing itself, you can also see it's pretty much within 1 second. Now, if we have a look on the MT4 platform, unfortunately, we cannot show you live because every single trade that goes into there actually disappears. So we are very lucky just to catch this one, as we did, and we decided to also take a picture. But if you went to on our MT4 platform right now, it wouldn't really show up at all. So let me illustrate what exactly happened here. And the first one we're going to have a look at is obviously British pounds USD. We are running on a 15-minute time frame here. And that's what the EA has to be set up for, always 15-minute time frames. The first one here is the buy that came in at 0.2 lot. You can see the yellow one and the yellow dot here. That's basically the time it was set. Since then, the trade went against it, and we basically ended up getting very close to profit here, but it didn't exactly trigger the take profit. And the take profit is the red dotted line that you see here. And it didn't really make it. So it could have gone slightly positive, but that was it. After that, a huge change in the market. And this is where the second buy came in at 0.34 lots. So the pink one down here, somewhere around this area. And after that, we actually made a bigger drawdown, and it went all the way down here. And this is at the time also where we ended up with an account balance, not that you see here. So you can see this is at minus 467. We went all the way down to about 1300 in minus, and that was actually quite a large number. We didn't expect the EA to go that far. And obviously you can see the price is slowly but surely coming back. And what then happened? And we just go to a different time frame because otherwise I can't show you within the screen itself. We just went to the 30-minute time frame. Again, the first 1.2 lot is up at the yellow dot here. And the second one was the pink dot that was set. After that, the price dropped. And then we could see that the price slowly but surely came back. And then it closed off right around here. And we were out of the trade just with a nice little profit, but nothing more. And definitely this is a Martingale strategy, not a negative one that you have seen us trade, for example, on the profit retriever. This is the normal straightforward Martingale where not necessarily normally you're doubling up. This one here was not doubling up. So obviously there is a percentage in there. We only have 2 trades, obviously also to compare with. So exactly how this was work or how the third trade would be looking. We don't really know at the moment, but obviously very interesting things. Now, one of the things that is very important here, even though there's not many settings for the EA itself, you can see the lot size in here that we have set this to 0.2. And obviously this was a good idea to go in low. Otherwise, it could have had a disastrous effect. And the next one is the stop loss balance, and the stop loss balance is actually not really documented very well in the manual itself. But from what we understand and what we have seen so far, it looks like the stop loss balance is a percentage, so 30% of the balance that you have in there. So if we are trading with $10,000, then basically the 30% is on the $10,000, meaning that if our account goes down to minus 3,000, all the trades will be closed. We're not talking about one trade at a time. This takes into consideration all the open trades. And in our case, we were down by 1,300. Obviously, if we would have gone to a lot size of 0.4 instead, at that time, it would have been 2,600, and we would have been extremely close to having all these shut down at a big minus. Now we know a few traders that went in with a higher lot size this particular week, and they lost a bit on that particular setting. And on top of this, the next setting here is also extremely important because these are the max orders. And obviously this week we ended up having quite a few of the orders staying for a long period of time, and we had 5 open. And if we would have maybe taken a max order of 10 instead, and they wouldn't have been very positive from the beginning, that could also have inflicted even more pain. So I believe it's very important so far that we keep the settings that we have here. It is also the settings that pretty much the robot comes with. The 30 and the 5 max orders is settings that comes from the developers. And you have to be very, very careful if you want to make any changes on those based on the percentages. But the FMO trading side with this particular robot on those settings is definitely not a good one. You have to test a lot more, and you also have to put the percentage down quite a lot. Now, the last part I wanted to share with you here is the weekly profit. So for the EA, and we can see here that the place broker did $98 or 0.98%, so just below 1%, which is obviously not very good compared to the previous weeks. We also see IG Broker came in just at $130 and 1.3%. So despite it having a hard week with a couple of big drawdowns, we still ended up with a fairly okay profit. So overall, still working very well, but obviously a few things now that we know about the robot that we have to take into consideration going forward. We are happy with the lot sizing that we have now, and we continue also with the maximum 5 open trades. We believe that is the way forward right now before we start playing any more with this particular one. So you can, as always, follow every single trade we have. You can go in, obviously, and look at the first video we made here, how everything was set up and how we started off. And you can also go to our website and follow everything we have in there, as more details will be added to the site as we get it in. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and I hope to see you on my next video. Bye-bye.